After the year-end shopping rush, Costco takes on a completely different vibe. It is much calmer and more practical. The warehouse currently feels like it is being reorganized to prepare for a new chapter in every family's life. Some items are appearing quietly, but they carry signals of a new lifestyle. I do not want to just list products for the sake of numbers. I want to observe this shift with you. By doing so, you will know the right time to make long-term investment decisions instead of just getting swept up in temporary discounts. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. One wedge pillow. The wedge pillow has returned to the early year new arrival list, but this time with some notable adjustments. Instead of a single-piece design like previous versions, the new model is split into two separate parts. This allows users to flexibly adjust the height and tilt angle according to their personal needs. This is a small improvement, but it has a clear impact on daily use. The core is made of cooling memory foam, providing a more comfortable sensation. This is especially helpful for those who frequently use wedge pillows for reading, watching TV, or supporting their sleep posture. The ability to separate and combine the two parts makes the pillow suitable for many different situations, from back and leg support to neck and shoulder relief. The removable and washable cover is also a big plus, particularly for a product related directly to health and personal hygiene. At a price of $30, this is a small investment with clear benefits, especially as more people focus on proper sitting and resting postures at home. Without being overly flashy, the wedge pillow fits perfectly with Costco's familiar philosophy: focus on functionality, meaningful improvements, and a reasonable price that makes it an easy choice for consumers. 2 Energizer Ultimate Lithium Batteries. Next on the list of new items is a product that is quiet and unpretentious, but carries a clear message of preparation: Energizer Ultimate Lithium Batteries. At $30 for an 18-pack, these batteries target long-term durability and reliability rather than immediate needs. They feature a shelf life of up to 25 years, allowing users to keep them in storage without worrying about the rapid power loss common in standard batteries. Their ability to operate stably in extreme temperatures, from -40 degrees Fahrenheit to 140 degrees Fahrenheit, makes them ideal for outdoor devices, garages, cars, or emergency situations. The leak-proof design is also a critical factor, protecting your electronics and reducing the risk of damage during long-term storage. This is not an impulse buy. It is the kind of product you purchase with foresight. As many families start the new year in an organizing and preparing mindset, these Energizer lithium batteries are a buy now, need later essential. A small expense provides peace of mind for years to come, perfectly capturing the spirit of a worthy Costco find. 3 Plant-based yogurt. Forager Project's plant-based yogurt has arrived as a dedicated option for consumers looking for dairy-free alternatives in their daily diet. Priced at $11, this product is made from coconut and cashews with no added sugar. It also provides about 13 grams of protein per serving, which is quite impressive for a plant-based yogurt. In terms of texture, the yogurt is thick and smooth, similar to a Greek-style consistency. This creates a substantial mouthfeel, whether eaten alone or paired with granola and fruit. The flavor leans toward natural and unsweetened, making it a better fit for those used to a less sugary diet, or those who want to control the sweetness themselves with honey or fresh fruit. The slight creaminess from the cashews makes the overall taste more approachable than many pure coconut products on the market. It should be noted that this is not a total replacement for traditional yogurt if your goal is calcium supplementation, as the mineral content is lower than in dairy products. Conversely, for those who are lactose intolerant or following a vegan diet, Forager Project offers a balanced option for flavor, protein, and versatility. This item is worth a try before committing to large quantities. 4. Power Reclining Leather Sofa. Among the fabric and modular options, the Power Reclining Leather Sofa stands out as another Costco emphasis the seating experience and personal comfort. At a price of $1,200, this figure is quite accessible compared to many power leather sofas on the market with similar features. The two outer seats can fully recline electronically combined with power-adjustable headrests. This allows users to customize their sitting position across multiple levels. From watching TV and reading to deep relaxation after a long day, every movement is smooth with just the push of a button. The leather material provides a soft feel and is easy to clean, making it ideal for families who want to reduce maintenance compared to fabric sofas. The integration of USB charging ports on each side shows a design mindset geared toward practical living, allowing you to charge personal devices right from your seat. Although it is packaged in a single box, the sofa feels sturdy and seamless once placed on the floor. This choice is for those who view the living room as a true place for rest. In the early 2026 furniture catalog, this sofa represents an investment in long-term comfort where technology is used effectively without being ostentatious. 5. Tupperware Bowl Set. Moving away from furniture and gardening, the 6-piece Tupperware bowl set is a prime example of a small, everyday product that directly affects the kitchen routine. Priced at $30 for 3 bowls and 3 matching lids, it is quite accessible, considering that the Tupperware brand is usually expensive when bought at retail. The design is seemingly simple, but very useful for mixing dough, whisking eggs, or tossing food. The handles provide a secure grip and prevent slipping, especially when your hands are wet or you are working quickly. The inclusion of airtight lids expands their functionality, allowing you to mix and then store food in the refrigerator without needing extra containers. This set is perfect for kitchens that prioritize neatness and multitasking, where one item can fulfill many roles. It does not boast a flashy design or chase trends, but its durability and convenience are why Tupperware remains a long-standing favorite. It is a tidy choice for the new year, straightforward, easy to use, and meets general kitchen needs perfectly. 6. 8-foot faux olive tree. As the holiday season closes and Christmas trees are put away, many families start to feel their living rooms look emptier than usual. The 8-foot faux olive tree has arrived at just the right time as a year-round greenery alternative that does not depend on seasons or natural light. Due to its significant height, this product easily becomes a visual anchor, especially in spaces with high ceilings or open floor plans. The tree comes with a pre-finished ceramic pot, so buyers do not need to find additional accessories or handle extra decorating tasks. Details like the faux olives and foliage are made to look quite natural, providing a soft and deep feel when placed indoors. Maintenance is practically zero. A periodic dusting is all it takes to keep it looking fresh. However, at a price of $350, this is more of an aesthetic piece than a necessity. It is suitable for those who want to maintain the plants in the house feel, but lack the time to care for real ones, or for those whose homes are not convenient for lighting and watering. As many people look to refresh their living spaces, the faux olive tree represents a simple investment that creates a large effect. It is still a product to consider carefully, especially if you are waiting for post-holiday sales. 7. Giant Chocolate Heart. In the middle of a series of practical products, the giant chocolate heart appears as a completely different highlight, purely emotional and overwhelming in size. weighing approximately 5.5 pounds and shaped like a massive heart. This is clearly a gift designed to make an instant impression, especially with Valentine's Day approaching. However, looking at the $87 price tag, this product quickly raises questions about its practical value. The milk chocolate block is hollow inside and does not come with fillings or any internal surprises. Its value lies much more in the display factor, the sentiment, and the unboxing moment, rather than a long-lasting eating experience. It is perfect for moments that require a wow effect where budget is not the deciding factor. Conversely, for a practical consumer, this amount of money could be used for a wider variety of other gift options. The giant chocolate heart serves as a seasonal symbolic item, fun to look at and talk about, but not necessarily a top shopping priority. 8. Rolling plant caddies. In the early year gardening category, the set of rolling plant caddies is a small item that solves a big problem moving heavy pots without physical strain. Priced at $30 for a 2-pack. This is the kind of accessory usually only noticed after someone has struggled with a massive plant pot. They feature a high weight capacity, making them suitable for ceramic pots, cement pots, or heavy perennial planters. The wheels allow for flexible repositioning based on sunlight or room layout, while a locking mechanism on one wheel keeps the pot securely in place, preventing unwanted rolling. This product sold very well last year and went out of stock quickly, showing that practical demand is much higher than its simple appearance suggests. For families with patios, balconies, or indoor gardens, these caddies save effort and prevent floor scratches. On Costco's new arrival list, this is a buy once, use for years item for those who value long-term convenience over instant flair. 9. Storage ottoman. Amidst the large furniture, items priced in the thousands, the storage ottoman stands out in a very different way. It is compact, flexible, and easy to fit into many spaces. At $200, this is an item that doesn't put pressure on your decision-making, but brings clear usage value to daily life. One side is upholstered in soft fabric, making it suitable as a footrest or extra seating. The other side is hard and can be flipped over to use as a serving tray, a small coffee table, or a laptop surface. This design allows users to change its function in seconds, depending on their needs at the moment. Inside is a concealed storage compartment, spacious enough to hold throw blankets, decorative pillows, books, or items that frequently cause living room clutter. This is exactly the kind of product that solves a real-life problem, keeping a space tidy without needing more cabinets or shelves. The storage ottoman doesn't impress through complexity, but through practicality. It is perfect for small to medium apartments, families with children, or anyone looking to optimize their space. 10. 6-piece fabric sectional. The Aiden and Ivy 6-piece fabric sectional is placed right at the front of the floor as a clear signal that Costco is prioritizing large furniture early this year. The thick, soft fabric and heavy feel indicate that this is not a low-quality display piece. The dimensions of the sectional are quite large, making it suitable for spacious living rooms or families who entertain frequently. In-store, the price of $2,400 is considered relatively competitive within this segment of the sofa market. However, Costco also offers an online option for $2,600, which includes delivery setup and the removal of all packaging materials. For anyone who has ever had to deal with dozens of layers of bulky packaging on their own, this price difference is not at all unreasonable and can actually save a lot of time and effort. The core value is not just the price or size, but the positioning. This is a piece of furniture bought for the long term. It is ideal for families who have settled into their living space and want to make a one-time investment for years to come. With the demand for home reorganization peaking, placing Aiden and Ivy in a central position is completely intentional. 11. Sesame Ginger Chicken Crumbles. In the early year convenience food category, the Sesame Ginger Chicken Crumbles clearly demonstrate the fast but not careless philosophy. At $15 for 2 packs, this product targets light, quick meals, especially suitable for busy days, when you still want a relatively balanced diet. The chicken is pre-cooked. You only need to reheat it to serve, which saves a significant amount of preparation time. When served with lettuce, and especially soft varieties like butter lettuce, the chicken crumbles provide a satisfying meal that isn't too heavy. It can easily be turned into a light lunch or dinner. The crumbles texture ensures the chicken is evenly coated in sauce, but it also means it can be a bit messy to eat. Therefore, it is better suited for a casual family meal rather than an occasion that requires elegant presentation. This is a solid option for those who want a convenient protein source ready in the fridge. 12. Fabric chaise. This fabric chaise attracts attention not because of a standout design, but because of its compact sofa-in-a-box packaging. When opened, the chair expands and shapes itself into a complete chaise. This offers a rather interesting experience, especially for those who want to avoid bulky transportation or complex assembly. However, the frameless nature of the design is something to consider carefully. At a price of $450, long-term durability will depend on the frequency of use and lifestyle habits. The fabric material provides a cozy feel, but with this expanding foam structure, it is not designed for heavy loads or continuous high-impact use. Functionally, the chaise is better suited as secondary relaxation seating in a bedroom reading nook or personal corner, rather than as central furniture. This product prioritizes convenience and fast setup. In return, the buyer must accept a certain trade-off in structural rigidity. It is perfect for those who value being lightweight and assembly-free. 13. Spicy Dan Dan Noodles. Spicy Dan Dan noodles are a standout choice for those looking for a change of pace in the convenience meal category. At $16, this product does not aim for the familiar safe flavors, but goes straight for those who enjoy bold and spicy tastes. The packaging marks the spice level with 3 chili peppers, which is enough for buyers to understand that this is not for everyone. The product is designed for quick reheating, making it suitable for a rushed meal or times when you don't want to cook anything elaborate. Just a few minutes of preparation results in a steaming bowl of noodles rich in spice aromas. The signature Dan Dan flavor offers a sense of novelty compared to the typical noodle dishes found at Costco. For those who like exploring new flavors or need a meal to wake up their taste buds, this is a great item to test out. Like the video if this surprised you. 14. Pruning set. While we are often preoccupied with expensive furniture, the Fiskars pruning set quietly reminds us of a simple yet vital task: listening to the rhythm of the garden. January is the golden time to clean up the previous season, pruning roses and bushes after the holidays to wake up the sap and prepare for a new growth cycle. At a price of $25, this tool set aims directly at practicality. Fiskars is a well-known brand in the gardening world, so the solid grip and sharp blades are immediately apparent. The fact that Costco occasionally applies a $5 discount makes this item even more worth buying, especially for those waiting to replace an old, worn-out set of shears. This is a low-cost, seasonally appropriate, and high-efficiency item. It is perfect for those wanting to start the year by caring for their living space, starting from the smallest details. 15. Sleeper sofa with storage. If the 6-piece fabric sectional is about scale and long-term investment, the sleeper sofa with storage is about flexibility and practicality. fitting the Costco spirit for the modern family. At a price of $1,600, this product targets the need for multi-purpose use within the same living space. The first valuable feature is the reversible chaise, which can be moved to the left or right side. This allows users to customize the sofa to fit their specific living room layout. This is especially important for homes with non-fixed layouts or for those who reorganize their furniture often. Under the chaise is a concealed storage compartment perfect for storing blankets, pillows, or items that need to be kept tidy but out of sight. The ability to pull it out into a bed makes this sofa a convenient backup for overnight guests or for expanding the relaxation area during a movie night. The integrated USB-C and USB-A charging ports are small but very practical details meeting the habit of using electronic devices right from the couch. This sofa wins through functionality in every detail. Our journey at Costco today ends with a lesson in selectivity. We are seeing a market shifting toward more durable and practical values. Do not rush to fill your cart. Take the time to clearly understand your own needs in the new year. Shopping with intent helps us save not only money, but also mental energy. I hope these observations help you see your own consumer map, where understanding leads every decision. I wish you a year of smart shopping and living fully with what you have chosen. Which product in the video surprised you the most? There are shopping habits at Costco that seem harmless, but quietly make you spend more, especially during the end-of-year season. Not because the products aren't good, but because you're stepping away from the smart shopping strategies that most people never talk about. Many discounts aren't actually good deals. Many timing mistakes cause you to miss out on high-quality items at great prices. In this video, you'll discover 13 common mistakes that almost no one warns you about, and more importantly, how to avoid them so you can make the most of Costco's year-end sales. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. 13. Waiting until right before the holidays to shop. A lot of people wait until just before Christmas or the end of the year to start going to Costco, assuming the closer it is to the holidays, the bigger the discounts. But at Costco, that logic doesn't apply. They don't run last-minute blowout sales like typical supermarkets. In fact, seasonal items like decorations, holiday snacks, and gift sets usually go on sale early and sell out long before you come back. Once you see a price tag with an asterisk, it means the item will not be restocked, and just a few days later, that entire section can disappear, replaced with furniture or next season's merchandise. Some shoppers say that visiting just a few days too late means the entire Christmas aisle is already gone. Certain items only appear once a year, like eggnog, panettone, or chocolate gift sets. If you miss the timing, you'll have to wait until next year. And even then, the exact item may not return. So instead of waiting until the holidays, pay attention to the first weeks of December. That's when inventory is fullest, hidden deals are most common, and, most importantly, sizes and styles are still available. Don't let yourself end up picking from leftovers just because you were a few days late. Costco doesn't wait for holiday shoppers. They move on to the next season very early. 12. Getting distracted by samples and loss leader deals. Costco's shopping atmosphere is always lively, especially at the end of the year. Sample stations offer warm pastries, sauces, soups, and hot sausages. And even though each sample is tiny, they have a huge influence on shopping behavior. Once you try something, you're more likely to buy it as a subconscious response to the generosity. Many shoppers walk out with giant items they never planned to buy in the first place. The soft lure strategy goes far beyond samples. Iconic items like the $4.99 rotisserie chicken and the $1.50 hot dog and drink combo are placed deep inside the warehouse. To get to them, you must walk through rows of products, and on that path, many shoppers casually pick up extra items and unintentionally overspend. This is Costco's subtle way of keeping you in the warehouse longer and increasing the chance of impulse purchases. Grabbing one or two unplanned items doesn't seem like much, but after multiple trips, you'll notice your budget being quietly chipped away. 11. Buying too much just because it seems cheap. One of the most common feelings at Costco is, it's only a little more, might as well get it. When you see a massive snack bag priced the same as two small ones at a regular store, or a detergent jug twice the size but only a few dollars more, it's easy to think, why not? I can save it for later. That mindset causes many people to overbuy, not because they need the items, but because they believe they're saving money. But the truth is, not everything is a better value in large quantities. Snacks, fresh produce, bread, milk, and even frozen foods can go bad before you finish them. Other items may not spoil, but still take up living space, creating clutter without actually giving you any sense of savings. Part of the problem is that Costco almost always sells items in large combos or multi-packs. For big families, this is genuinely cost-effective. But for singles, young couples, or small households, buying more because it's cheaper often ends up costing more than buying the right amount at a regular store. Year-end sales make this even easier to fall for. If you don't have a clear shopping plan, your cart can quickly fill with items you think you shouldn't pass up, only for you to realize at home that you didn't need half of them. 10. Ignoring year-end deals on Costco.com. A lot of people assume that as long as they visit the physical Costco warehouse, they've already seen all the best deals. But what most shoppers don't realize is this. Costco.com is where many of the biggest year-end exclusive discounts actually appear. This is the time of year when Costco quietly drops major online-only sales on electronics, home appliances, clothing, and even premium gift sets. Unlike the warehouse, where display space is limited, the website can feature a much wider range of products and update them frequently. There are plenty of items you'll never see in-store but are deeply discounted online, such as laptops, TVs, air fryers, or holiday gift bundles. In some cases, the same product may even be significantly cheaper online than inside the warehouse. Year-end is peak shopping season, and many of the best online deals last only a short time, sometimes just a few days. If you focus only on going to the warehouse, you're likely to miss promotions available exclusively online, especially during events like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, or the year-end clearance. To avoid missing out, make it a habit to browse Costco.com, especially at the start of each week or right before major holidays. Checking a few key sections like online-only deals, holiday offers, and member-only savings can help you save much more money without having to fight the crowds inside the warehouse. 9. Shopping at the wrong time and missing hidden in-warehouse discounts. Many people visit Costco whenever they have free time, usually late afternoon or on weekends. But few shoppers know that Costco has specific quiet windows during the day and week when price updates happen behind the scenes. And if you shop at the wrong time, you could walk right past great deals without realizing it. Costco doesn't shout sale on its price tags like other retailers. Instead, employees quietly update signs throughout the week, especially before major holidays or at the beginning of a new sales cycle, usually Monday morning. These markdowns are rarely announced publicly. They're only indicated by subtle signals like 0.97 or 0 or the asterisk, signs that the product is on clearance, won't be restocked, or is receiving a deep discount. Shopping early in the day, especially on the first day of a markdown cycle, lets you see all the newly adjusted prices before the crowds arrive. But if you go in the late afternoon or mid-cycle, the best deals may already be gone, or you might not even notice they were there. 8. Waiting until after Christmas to buy seasonal items. Many shoppers still follow the habit of waiting for post-holiday clearance to buy Christmas decorations, holiday snacks, or leftover gift sets. At most retailers, this strategy works. They slash prices aggressively after the holiday. But at Costco, it doesn't work at all, and often leaves you empty-handed. Costco follows a very strict seasonal schedule and typically clears out the holiday section during or immediately after Christmas. They need the space to bring in New Year inventory like fitness equipment, living room furniture, kitchen products, and storage solutions. So if you plan to come back on December 26th to hunt for deals, you'll likely find the entire holiday section already gone. Not only is the merchandise removed quickly, but the best holiday markdowns actually happen quietly before Christmas. Experienced Costco shoppers know to visit between December 20th and 24th to catch the last round of clearance pricing, while items and sizes are still available. After that window, products are cleared with almost no announcement. Like the video if this surprised you. 7. Buying a membership but not using it regularly. A Costco membership is often seen as the key that unlocks access to great prices. But many people sign up and then forget about it. They're excited at the beginning of the year, get the card, and by the time December comes, they've only visited the store a handful of times, which means the membership fee becomes a quiet loss. A lot of shoppers choose their membership emotionally, signing up because friends use it, or upgrading to the executive tier just because they heard about the 2% cashback. But if you don't shop enough or don't take advantage of the added benefits like Costco travel, gas, pharmacy savings, and more, the cashback won't come close to covering the annual fee. And if you only shop for a few small items each month, the savings from deals don't actually offset the cost of membership. A Costco membership only becomes truly valuable when you use it consistently. For groceries, electronics, furniture, gifts, medicine, travel, and even auto services. If your visits are too infrequent, or you buy only a few items each time, the membership won't provide the financial payoff you expect. If you only shop 2 or 3 times a year, it might make more sense to downgrade your membership tier or legally share a membership with a family member. Don't let your membership fee become an invisible expense that repeats every year. 6. Buying soft drinks and fresh meat at Costco. Costco is famous for selling everything in bulk, from electronics to food. But not every product is actually a better deal, especially when it comes to soft drinks and fresh meat. These two categories can easily make you overspend if you're not careful. Soft drinks are heavily discounted at other supermarkets throughout the year, especially around holidays. At Walmart, Target, or Kroger, soda prices often drop below Costco's fixed pricing when promotions hit. For example, a 12-pack of cans can go for under $4 during sales, cheaper than Costco. If you don't compare the unit price, it's easy to assume buying in bulk is always cheaper, when in reality, it isn't. Fresh meat is another area where Costco's large pack sizes aren't always an advantage. Costco typically sells meat in big quantities. A tray of chicken or beef can weigh 5 to 7 pounds. That works great for large families. But for small households or individuals, storing and finishing all that meat before it spoils becomes a real challenge. Meanwhile, other supermarkets often discount fresh meat at the end of the day or during weekends, something Costco rarely does. You might get exactly the amount you need for a lower price elsewhere if you shop at the right time. 5. Buying fruit and fresh produce in large quantities. Walking into Costco, it's easy to be tempted by the big, beautiful boxes of fruit, giant salad bags, or large vegetable combos that look incredibly cheap when you calculate price per pound. But when it comes to fresh produce, especially fruits and leafy greens, buying more doesn't always mean saving more unless you realistically consider how fast you can eat them. Fruits like strawberries, blueberries, grapes, and leafy greens spoil quickly if not stored properly or consumed fast enough. Those 3-4 lb boxes seem like a great value in the moment, but after just a few days in the fridge, you may see mushy or moldy pieces, meaning a good portion ends up in the trash, along with the money you thought you saved. Similarly, large bags of pre-mixed salads or greens are hard to finish if your household has only 1 or 2 people. Without meal planning or dividing them into smaller portions right after purchase, you may find yourself repeating the same cycle, buying a lot, then throwing a lot away. 4. Overlooking Costco's other services. Many shoppers go to Costco only for groceries and household items, forgetting that the store actually offers a wide range of services, often at prices more competitive than the market. Ignoring these services means missing out on substantial savings, especially toward the end of the year. One of the most valuable areas is the pharmacy and optical center. Costco's pharmacy offers very competitive pricing on both prescription and over-the-counter medications. And with the Costco prescription program, members can save even more, even if they don't have health insurance. When it comes to eyeglasses, sunglasses, or contact lenses, Costco not only sells them at better prices, but also provides on-site eye exams with licensed optometrists, making the entire process convenient from start to finish. Costco also offers auto insurance, home insurance, travel insurance, and even travel bookings through Costco Travel. During the holiday season, these services become especially useful when you need to fly, book accommodations, rent a car, or give travel experiences as year-end gifts. Because Costco negotiates volume discounts, many of these services cost significantly less than booking directly, and executive members earn additional rewards on top. 3. Ignoring Costco travel and gift cards. Among the endless shelves inside Costco, many people walk right past one of the store's biggest hidden treasures, the gift card section and the travel service board. These two areas don't get much attention, but if you use them properly, you can save hundreds of dollars without chasing deals anywhere else. Costco Travel offers hotel packages, guided tours, rental cars, cruises, and even theme park tickets at prices far below typical booking sites. Costco negotiates large volume contracts and passes nearly all of that bulk discount directly to members. Executive members receive an extra 2% reward on eligible travel purchases. This becomes incredibly valuable for holiday travel, early year trips, or even summer vacations that you want to book ahead of time. Gift cards are another major money saver. Costco sells restaurant cards, movie theater cards, spa vouchers, coffee shop cards, and more at 20–25% off, meaning you pay $75 but get $100 in value. This is an easy way to save on personal spending or to give cost-effective gifts during the holidays. Costco also carries gift cards for local restaurants, family entertainment centers, and regional services you won't find elsewhere. 2. Buying canned goods at Costco. Canned goods are often seen as the perfect bulk purchase. Long shelf life, easy to store, stable pricing. So many shoppers load up on cases of beans, corn, canned tomatoes, or ready-to-eat soups every time they visit Costco. But in reality, this is one category where you should think twice. The reason is simple. Canned goods at Costco aren't always cheaper than buying them at regular supermarkets. Stores like Walmart, Aldi, or Kroger frequently run promotions on individual canned items. When you compare unit prices during these sales, they can be noticeably cheaper than Costco, especially if you only need a few cans rather than an entire 12-pack. Canned goods also take up a lot of storage space. Stocking up too heavily without a clear usage plan can make your pantry feel cramped, and it's easy to lose track of expiration dates or fail to rotate items properly. Many families have ended up clearing out cases of soup or black beans stored since the beginning of the year simply because they couldn't eat them fast enough. 1. Not using Costco's gas station and tire center. A lot of people shop at Costco regularly, but walk right past the gas station without stopping. The most common reasons are they don't want to wait in line, or they assume saving a few cents per gallon isn't worth it. But when you add it up over every full tank, that small price difference can easily save you hundreds of dollars a year, just from one simple habit. Costco's gas is typically 10 to 30 cents per gallon cheaper than regular gas stations, especially in states where fuel prices fluctuate heavily. For a typical sedan with a 13 to 15 gallon tank, that's a savings of $1.50 to $4.50 every fill-up. If you drive an SUV or a pickup, the savings are even higher. And since you're already at Costco to shop, filling up there also saves you an extra trip. It doesn't stop there. Many shoppers also overlook Costco's tire center. Costco frequently offers major promotions on tire purchases, such as $150 off or discounted installation. They use reputable brands like Michelin and Bridgestone, and their prices are often lower than dealership rates. Plus, you get free lifetime services, including balancing, flat repair, and nitrogen inflation, services that many other shops charge for separately. Costco isn't just a place to buy cheap groceries, it's a full savings ecosystem if you understand how it operates. By avoiding common mistakes, you don't just protect your budget, you unlock the true value of your membership. From timing your visits to knowing what to buy and which services to use, everything can become an advantage if you pay attention. Which tip from the video surprised you the most? Costco doesn't rely on flashy promotions, and it never pressures you to buy anything. Yet somehow, most shoppers walk out with carts piled high, and the strong feeling that they just saved a ton of money. That's not magic. It's a carefully engineered formula. From the bare concrete floors to the $1.50 hot dog counter, every detail serves one purpose: getting you to spend more while still believing you're being smart about it. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. 1. Costco targets high-income, suburban shoppers. Many people still assume Costco is a place for those trying to tighten their belts: blue-collar workers, students, or middle-class households struggling through inflation. But in reality, the audience Costco targets is wealthier than you might think. According to Costco's own data, their ideal customer is a woman between 35 and 45 years old, living in the suburbs, with a family, home ownership, and an average household income above $125,000 a year. These are shoppers with strong buying power and enough space to store bulk purchases like a full case of toilet paper, several pounds of frozen meat, or multiple jumbo containers of laundry detergent at once. They typically have a garage, an extra freezer, and a routine shopping habit with average receipts well over $100 per visit. For this group, buying in bulk isn't a burden. They can easily purchase 4 dozen eggs for baking, daily meals, or portioning and freezing for the month. They can invest in an expensive home audio system because they know they have both the money and the space to actually enjoy it. By contrast, for people living in cities, small apartments, or on tighter monthly budgets, buying in bulk can quickly become a liability. Large packages that don't get fully used turn into waste. Buying extra just in case can leave refrigerators and closets overflowing while bank accounts quietly shrink. What's interesting is how subtly Costco packages the idea of savings. They never say you have to be wealthy to shop there, but everything, from product sizing and store layout to membership fees, is clearly designed around a very specific lifestyle and financial profile. And that's why many people don't realize the truth. This model may not actually fit them, even though they believe they're chasing lower prices. 2. The no questions asked return policy and the hidden downside. Costco's generous return policy is its most celebrated soft weapon. You can return almost anything if you're not satisfied, even if it's been opened, used, or you no longer have the receipt. In theory, this creates a stress-free shopping experience and makes everyone feel safe. But behind that generosity lies a series of unintended consequences that many shoppers never notice. First, this policy encourages careless purchasing. When people know they can just return it if they don't like it, they're far more likely to buy items they're unsure they'll actually use. That means you're temporarily tying up your money in products you may not truly need and may never return. The item sits at home, you forget about it, or you don't feel like making the trip back. In the end, you're still the one who paid. On top of that, easy returns gradually loosen consumer discipline. Some shoppers develop the habit of buying, trying, and returning as if it's normal behavior. What many don't realize is that Costco tracks each member's return history. If you abuse the policy, repeatedly buying and returning items, especially high-ticket products, your account can be flagged. There have been cases where memberships were permanently revoked because the shopper was classified as a high-risk customer. During the holiday season, this pattern becomes even more dangerous. People spend freely to try things out and buy gifts they aren't sure they'll give, then return everything in bulk after the holidays. Even if you get your money back, the real costs, time, effort, gas, and product depreciation are very real. The generous return policy is a double-edged sword. It gives peace of mind, but it also encourages impulsive spending and creates a false sense of financial safety. Real savings don't come from the ability to return items. They come from making the right choices in the first place. Costco gives you the right to return, but no one guarantees you won't pay a price for using it. 3. The sunk cost psychological effect. There's a very familiar feeling right after you pay for a Costco membership. I need to shop here more to get my money's worth. That harmless-sounding thought is actually a textbook example of a psychological bias many people don't realize they're experiencing. The sunk cost fallacy. This mental mechanism pushes us to keep using something we've already paid for, even when it's no longer truly necessary or suitable. For example, if you've bought a movie ticket and the movie turns out to be terrible, you'll often stay and watch it anyway, just because you already paid. The same thing happens with a Costco membership. Once you've spent $60 or $120 a year, your brain quietly nudges you to shop more, visit more often, and make the most of the card. As a result, many people start spending more every time they go to Costco. It begins with toilet paper and laundry detergent, then turns into an impulse electronics purchase or a beautifully packaged holiday snack set. None of these were on the original list, but they're easily justified with the thought, I already have the membership, I might as well. What makes this dangerous is how natural it feels. You don't feel like you're overspending. On the contrary, you believe you're saving money and maximizing your membership benefits. But when you add up a full year of spending, many shoppers are shocked to realize that the money spent to make it worth it often far exceeds what they would have spent buying selectively at a regular grocery store, only when needed. Costco understands this psychology extremely well. They don't need aggressive advertising. They just need you to create your own reason to come back. The system doesn't force you. It simply uses consumer psychology to guide you into spending more without feeling guilty. Real savings don't come from trying to squeeze every drop out of a membership. They come from knowing when to stop, buying only what you actually need, and clearly separating real value from the feeling of getting your money's worth. Otherwise, you end up buying more, not out of necessity, but simply to reassure yourself that you spent wisely. Like this video if this surprised you. 4. Store layout and subtle buying triggers. Costco doesn't rely on loud background music or giant promotional signs to encourage spending. Instead, its warehouse-style layout appears rough, simple, and even chaotic. But it's all very intentional. The scattered shelving and lack of clear directional signage aren't accidents. They're designed to make shoppers walk through multiple sections and pass countless products before reaching what they originally came for. Along the way, many unplanned items quietly end up in the cart. By placing everyday necessities next to premium, high-ticket items, Costco keeps shoppers in a constant state of comparison. A box of toothpaste might sit right beside a high-end stainless steel cookware set or a massive flat-screen TV. Walking past expensive items without buying them creates the illusion that you've saved a lot of money. That feeling alone is often enough to justify spending on smaller extras, pastries, snacks, or household items that were never part of the plan. The use of randomness in the layout also serves another purpose, keeping shoppers in the store longer. The longer people wander, the higher the chance they'll spend more. The uncertainty of where things are turns shopping into a low-pressure, almost leisurely spending experience, subtle but highly effective. Sampling stations are another key part of the experience. Each small bite isn't just a friendly gesture, It's a gentle reminder that the product is worth buying. Tasting something for free creates a sense of familiarity and satisfaction, which often leads shoppers to purchase an entire tray, even if they never intended to visit that section in the first place. Without visual overload or sensory manipulation, Costco guides consumer behavior through spatial design itself, a space where every detail is carefully calculated to encourage spending in the most natural way possible. 5. Buying in bulk leads to waste if you can't use it all. Costco creates the feeling of buy once, use for the whole month. Giant bags of snacks, oversized jugs of laundry detergent, multi-pound packs of frozen meat, or even entire loaves of bakery bread, all of it gives the impression of long-term savings. But reality is often less pleasant, especially when your actual usage doesn't keep up with the pace of stocking up. Most Costco items are packaged for large households or for people who plan their consumption well in advance. For those living alone, young couples, or smaller families, buying by the case or in bulk can become a burden rather than a benefit. Fruit that can't be eaten in time over-ripens, vegetables turn soggy after a few days, and bread grows moldy before it's finished. Dry goods may last longer, but they take up space and are easily forgotten in kitchen cabinets. Another issue is the guilt that comes with waste. Many people force themselves to keep eating the same foods just so they don't waste money, leading to repetitive meals, reduced enjoyment, and sometimes even poor nutritional choices. Others stockpile items and then forget what they bought, only to discover them after they've expired. With frozen foods, most household freezers simply don't have enough capacity, making proper storage difficult. And for everyday products like shampoo, soap, or toilet paper, buying too much often just crowds your living space. While the per-unit savings aren't that meaningful once you consider the cash that's effectively frozen in unused inventory. Buying more isn't wrong, if you have a clear plan. But if you buy just because it looks cheap without considering real consumption, you'll quickly realize that the money you thought you saved is slowly disappearing through spoiled food, forgotten items, and trash bags filled with things you never got around to using. 6. The $1.50 hot dog combo is a rare, genuine exception. Among all the subtle strategies that encourage shoppers to spend more at Costco, there's one thing almost everyone agrees on. The $1.50 hot dog combo is a truly rare, long-lasting bargain. While gas prices, egg prices, and coffee prices fluctuate week to week, the hot dog and refillable drink combo has stayed the same since 1985. For just $1.50, you get a 1-wire 4-pound all-beef hot dog and a 20-oz fountain drink with free refills. Based on today's average prices, a comparable hot dog costs about $1.18 at the grocery store, the bun around $0.35, and a soda at least $1.27. That puts the homemade version at roughly $2.80, nearly double the Costco price, not counting prep time, cooking, or dishes. What's even more interesting is that many Costco locations place the food court outside the main warehouse, allowing non-members to buy this combo with cash. That means anyone, even without shopping inside, can enjoy this filling, affordable, no-frills meal. Do the math. If you eat the hot dog combo once a week, after 47 visits, you've effectively covered the $60 annual membership fee. For a family of 3, it takes less than 4 months for this combo to become a far more practical and realistic savings tool than trying to justify bulk toilet paper or frozen meat purchases just to get your money's worth. In a world where everything feels increasingly expensive and complicated, the simplicity and consistency of the $1.50 combo is genuinely refreshing. It's not a gimmick or a hidden marketing trick. It's a long-term promise, and one of the few truly real bargains Costco offers, whether you're a member or not. 7. Comparing Costco prices with regular grocery stores. Many people believe that shopping at Costco automatically means lower prices, the kind of savings you don't even need to compare, because bulk pricing is assumed to be a guaranteed deal. But when you actually put the numbers side by side, The difference isn't always what you expect. Sometimes it's only a few cents. Other times, Costco can even be more expensive, especially when traditional grocery stores are running promotions. Real-world price comparisons between Costco and chains like Walmart, Kroger, or Aldi show that on average, each item at Costco is only about 1.14 cheaper. For certain products like coffee, the maximum savings may be as little as 42 cents per serving. That means you'd need to buy more than 50 items per year just to break even on the $60 membership fee. And that's not counting the fact that some electronics and household items are occasionally priced the same, or even higher, than at Amazon or Best Buy, particularly when those retailers are offering flash deals or direct discount codes. Costco's packaging strategy also affects how prices are perceived. For example, buying a 10 lb tray of chicken for $25 may feel like a much better deal than a 2 lb package at a grocery store for $6. But if you only use half of it before the chicken spoils, or you don't freeze it in time, the savings quietly turn into wasted money. On top of that, many local grocery stores use dynamic pricing strategies, frequent short-term discounts, reward points, or coupons for future purchases. For shoppers who actively compare prices and take advantage of promotions, traditional supermarkets can be just as competitive, or even cheaper, than buying in bulk at Costco. This doesn't mean Costco isn't affordable, but real savings require knowing reference prices, understanding your actual consumption, and factoring in storage and full usage, not just looking at the price per pound. Where you shop matters less than knowing what you're buying, how much you'll use, and whether it truly delivers value. Costco isn't always cheaper, and if you don't check carefully, you may end up paying more for the feeling of saving money. 8. The membership fee business model. When you walk into Costco, everything seems to signal savings. Exposed steel ceilings, rough concrete floors, no background music, and no flashy price signs. The minimalist design makes it feel like the store is cutting costs in order to pass the savings on to customers. What many people don't realize is that Costco's real profits don't come from merchandise. They come from the membership fee you pay just to walk through the door. In 2021 alone, Costco generated nearly $4 billion in membership fee revenue, accounting for about 72% of its total operating profit. That means even if customers buy less due to inflation or price fluctuations, as long as they keep their memberships, Costco maintains a steady profit stream. It's an incredibly smart collect first, sell later model. The money is already in their pocket before you purchase a single item. The membership fee doesn't seem high compared to other services. $60 for the basic plan and $120 for the executive tier. But that seemingly small cost directly affects consumer psychology. Once you've paid for the membership, you feel the need to make it worth it. Every time you visit Costco, even when you don't really need anything, it's easy to tell yourself, I already paid the fee, I might as well buy something. And just like that, you fall into the sweet trap known as sunk cost. This psychological effect, called the sunk cost fallacy, pushes you to keep investing in something simply because you've already paid for it, so it doesn't feel like a waste. But if you only shop a few times a year or frequently buy items outside your original plan, that membership card may end up costing you more than it saves. Costco doesn't force you to buy. It simply opens the door to those who've already committed with their wallet and lets you convince yourself to spend more each time you come back. It's a low-risk model for them, but without enough awareness, it can quietly turn into a recurring expense that delivers little real value for you. Smart shopping isn't just about finding low prices. It's about understanding your needs and controlling your spending behavior. Costco offers many attractive deals, but without awareness, it's easy to get swept up in the feeling of saving while actually spending more. In the end, real value comes from being proactive, planning ahead, buying only what you need, and not letting return policies or bulk pricing distort your sense of financial reality. Which part of the video surprised you the most? There's a truth that's rarely stated plainly. Most households don't run into trouble because of major crises, but because of small disruptions that happen at the worst possible moments. When shelves are empty, when household water becomes an issue, or when a familiar item suddenly isn't as easy to buy as it used to be, every decision becomes more rushed and more expensive than usual. This video highlights everyday items that quietly create a safety buffer in daily life. When you understand them correctly and prepare the right way, you don't need to buy more. You just need to buy smarter. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. 1. Canned meats and stored protein. Canned meats and stored protein tend to be viewed in extremes, either dismissed as last resort food or praised as survival essentials. The reality sits somewhere in between. These aren't meant for perfect meals. They're meant for moments when you need reliability, speed, and food that doesn't depend on refrigeration or electricity. Canned chicken is a clear example. It doesn't require complicated cooking. Just open the can and it's ready to use, or quickly mix it into noodles, rice, or salads. Its strength isn't flavor, but versatility. Compared to many other canned meats, it's easier to combine with different foods and less likely to feel overly heavy or repetitive. For families accustomed to eating chicken, it's often the most acceptable protein option for storage. Spam and similar canned meats tend to spark more debate, but from a storage perspective, they have clear advantages: high calories, long shelf life, and no special storage requirements. When used properly, diced, pan-fried, and paired with rice or vegetables, they're far from as bad as their reputation suggests. Problems arise when expectations are set too high, not because the product itself is fundamentally flawed. Canned fish plays a balancing role. Tuna, sardines, and canned salmon provide protein along with fats and minerals, and they're easy to use and store. For many households, canned fish is more familiar than canned meat, which makes it more likely to be used regularly. Choosing oil-packed or water-packed depends on energy needs and taste preferences. There's no single right option. The key with canned protein isn't buying large quantities, but choosing types you're actually willing to eat when needed. Stored protein isn't meant to fully replace fresh food. It's there to make sure meals remain nutritious and low stress when conditions aren't ideal. When treated as a support layer rather than a sole solution, canned meats and stored protein deliver their true value. 2. Grains and long-term staples. Wheat berries are often seen as too specialized, suitable only for bakers or people preparing in extreme ways. In reality, they're simply grain in its most intact form, unmilled and unprocessed, which makes them far more durable and flexible than many other foods. The value of wheat berries isn't in eating them immediately, but in their ability to wait until the right moment. From a storage standpoint, wheat berries don't require complicated conditions, but they do need to be handled correctly from the start. A dry, sealed environment that prevents insects is essential. When stored in airtight food-grade containers with oxygen absorbers, wheat berries can maintain quality for a very long time without refrigeration or electricity. This is a major advantage over flour, which deteriorates much more quickly over time. Their uses are also more varied than many people expect. With a grain mill, wheat berries can be ground into flour for baking bread, pastries, or pancakes. But even without milling, they're still usable. Soaked and cooked like rice, added to salads, or simmered until tender to pair with savory dishes. They take longer to cook than rice, but in return provide longer-lasting fullness and steady energy, ideal for meals that need to sustain you. The important thing is not to buy them just for peace of mind. If you've never cooked wheat berries before, it's better to start with a small amount to see whether your household actually enjoys them. Long-term staples only have real value when you know how to use them and are willing to eat them, not when they simply sit untouched in storage. Wheat berries aren't a replacement for everyday food, but a smart backup layer. When stored properly and understood clearly, they offer a high level of self-reliance without requiring excessive buying or complicated preparation. 3. Emergency household essentials. Items like baby wipes and toilet paper are often treated as things you'll always have, which is why they're easy to overlook when it comes to backup planning. But precisely because they're so familiar, they become some of the most inconvenient items to be without. No extreme scenario is required, just an issue with household water, a few days without power, or simply not buying in time can make daily routines much harder to manage. Baby wipes are the clearest example of versatility. They don't fully replace water and soap, but when access to clean water is limited, they're an extremely effective temporary solution. Hand cleaning, personal hygiene, quick surface wipe downs, even used during long road trips or camping, their usefulness goes far beyond their original purpose. Their biggest advantage is that they require no setup at all. Open the pack and they're ready to use. Toilet paper is even more basic, which is exactly why people tend to take it for granted. When supply chains are disrupted, it's often one of the first items to disappear from shelves. Not because people suddenly use more of it, but because everyone realizes its importance at the same time. Having a reasonable supply at home helps avoid panic buying and rush purchases when prices are no longer reasonable. 4. Canned foods. Canned foods are often underestimated because they're so familiar. But during power outages or times when normal cooking isn't possible, they're one of the most reassuring categories to have on hand. Soups, chili, and ready-to-eat meals require minimal preparation, don't rely on refrigeration, and can still be used even when daily routines are disrupted. The biggest strength of canned soups and chili is flexibility. If you have power, they can be heated quickly. If you don't, they can still be eaten cold without compromising food safety. Very few foods offer that level of adaptability. For households with young children or elderly family members, having a meal that's warm, or at least nutritionally sufficient, without complicated cooking significantly reduces stress. Another advantage is clear, easy-to-manage portions. Each can of soup or chili typically serves 1 or 2 people, making meal planning simpler in less than ideal situations. There's no need to measure, prep ingredients, or plan ahead. Just open the can and eat. That simplicity saves both time and energy, 2 things that are especially valuable during extended power outages. Canned foods also have a long shelf life as long as the packaging remains intact. Many people worry about the expiration date printed on the can, but in practice, these products are often safe well beyond that date if the can isn't dented, bulging, or rusted. The key is to check the condition of the can, not just the printed date. 5. Fire starting tools. Fire starting tools are often the most overlooked items because they're small and familiar. Matches and lighters are almost always somewhere in the house, which makes them easy to dismiss when preparing for disruptions. But the moment you imagine a situation without electricity, no electric stove or microwave, the importance of fire becomes immediately clear. Fire isn't just for cooking, it's used to boil water, provide warmth, offer temporary lighting, and support many basic daily activities. Even if you own a gas stove, camping stove, or alcohol burner, everything becomes nearly useless without matches or a lighter. This is something many people only realize once they need them and can't find any. The biggest advantage of matches and lighters is that they're compact, inexpensive, and easy to store. They take up very little space, require no maintenance, and can be kept in multiple locations, around the house, in a car, or in an emergency kit. Spreading a few across different spots helps prevent the common problem of having them but not being able to find them when it matters most. Another often overlooked benefit is reliability. While electronic devices depend on batteries or charging, matches and lighters operate independently. They require no instructions, no connections, just a simple action, and they're ready to use. That simplicity is what makes them such a dependable backup option. Like the video if this surprised you. 6. Water and emergency water filtration. Water is the easiest thing to take for granted until the tap stops flowing as usual. In many everyday disruptions, the first real problem isn't a lack of food, but the absence of clean water. Drinking, cooking, and basic hygiene all depend on it, And once the supply is affected, that sense of vulnerability sets in very quickly. Bottled water is the simplest and most accessible option. It requires no setup and no extra steps. If it's there, it's ready to use. Large capacity containers are also easier to store than many people expect. They allow households to maintain basic routines for a short period without worrying about water quality. The key isn't stockpiling huge amounts, but having enough to avoid sudden shortages. However, stored water is only part of the picture. When disruptions last longer, water filtration becomes what truly makes the difference. Purification tablets, personal filter straws, or portable filter bottles allow you to safely use available water sources. They don't turn contaminated water into something perfect, but they do reduce risk enough to support daily needs under limited conditions. The biggest advantage of water filtration solutions is flexibility. They don't require electricity or complex systems, just simple steps to get usable water. This becomes especially important when traveling, camping, or relying on unfamiliar water sources. 7. Batteries, flashlights, and headlamps. When the power goes out, the first thing that changes isn't temperature or food, it's visibility and safe movement. Batteries, flashlights, and headlamps are small, often overlooked items, but they determine whether daily life can continue smoothly. Without light, even familiar tasks become slower, more awkward, and more prone to mistakes. Flashlights are usually the most familiar choice. Handheld and directional, they work well when focused light is needed, but their limitation is obvious. You only have one free hand. When cooking, making repairs, or searching in tight spaces, juggling a flashlight quickly becomes inconvenient. That's where headlamps shine. Worn on the head, the light follows your line of sight, leaving both hands free. For simple tasks like cleaning, checking an electrical panel, or moving around the house in the dark, the difference is immediately noticeable. Headlamps don't replace flashlights, they complement them for different situations. Batteries are often the most underestimated piece of the setup. A flashlight without batteries makes all preparation meaningless. Batteries should be stored in dry, easy-to-access places, ideally spread across multiple locations to avoid the "I have them, but can't find them" problem. Some people prefer rechargeable batteries, but in situations where there's no power to recharge, disposable batteries often prove more reliable. 8. Flavor enhancers and long-lasting staples. In long-term food storage, flavor enhancers are often treated as an afterthought. In reality, they're what determines whether stored food actually gets eaten. Rice, beans, pasta, and canned goods may provide calories, but when every meal tastes the same, boredom sets in quickly. At that point, the challenge isn't food scarcity, it's maintaining a sustainable eating routine. Honey is the clearest example of an item that adds flavor while lasting almost indefinitely. It doesn't require refrigeration and won't spoil over time if stored properly. Honey can be used to sweeten food, cook, mix drinks, or offer mild health support. Crystallization isn't a sign of spoilage. It's a natural process, and gentle warming restores it to normal. Few foods are both as versatile and durable. Dry spices like black pepper, chili, cinnamon, garlic powder, and seasoning blends may seem minor, but their impact is significant. A simple change in seasoning can make the same basic ingredients feel like an entirely different meal. You don't need large quantities, but without them, long-term menus quickly become repetitive and hard to sustain. Bouillon, dry stock cubes or powder, is another often underestimated item. In limited conditions, a small amount mixed with hot water creates a flavorful base for soups, porridge, noodles, or simple stews. Dry bouillon has clear advantages over liquid stock. It's compact, lightweight, shelf-stable, and doesn't require refrigeration. 9. Beverages and electrolytes. Liquid IV, drinks and electrolytes are usually only thought about during intense physical activity or hot weather. But during everyday disruptions, they're one of the categories that affect physical condition the fastest. When eating patterns change, sleep becomes irregular, or you're moving around more than usual. The body loses fluids and minerals faster than most people realize, and fatigue often shows up before you recognize the cause. Water is the foundation, but it isn't always enough. When the body is low on electrolytes, drinking water alone can leave you feeling drained. That's where electrolyte products like Liquid IV come in. Just one small packet mixed with water can help replenish sodium, potassium, and other essential minerals, allowing the body to absorb fluids more effectively. The strength of Liquid IV and similar products lies in how compact and easy they are to store. They don't require refrigeration, take up very little space, and have a long shelf life. They're especially helpful for older adults, children, or anyone who tends to feel run down when daily routines are disrupted. During periods of eating more canned foods and fewer fresh vegetables, electrolytes can make a noticeable difference in maintaining energy levels. 10. Medications and basic medical supplies. Medications and medical supplies often only get attention after a problem arises. When everything is running normally, medicine cabinets are easily forgotten or left half empty. But a fever in the middle of the night, a minor injury, or simply being unable to go out and shop can quickly turn that gap into a much bigger issue than expected. Over-the-counter medications like fever reducers, pain relievers, allergy medicine, or digestive aids aren't meant to replace professional treatment. They're for handling very common, everyday situations. It's these small issues, when left unaddressed, that tend to disrupt daily life the most. Having medication on hand reduces the feeling of helplessness and avoids scrambling while you're already uncomfortable. Basic medical supplies are just as important. Adhesive bandages, gauze, wraps, antiseptic solutions, and medical gloves are small items but get used frequently. They allow you to quickly handle cuts, scrapes, or minor burns, incidents that become more likely when routines are disrupted, lighting is limited, or you're doing more things yourself than usual. 11. Energy-dense foods. Among long-term storage categories, energy-dense foods are often seen as too basic to even discuss. Yet these items play a key role in maintaining strength and daily rhythm when meals become more simplified. Peanut butter and cooking oil aren't about flavor. They're about preventing energy shortfalls during periods of limited food variety. Peanut butter is one of the easiest options to use. It requires no cooking or heating. Just open the jar and eat it directly, or pair it with bread, crackers, instant noodles, or even dried fruit. Its high fat and protein content helps keep you full longer and reduces fatigue when fresh protein is limited. Regular, more processed peanut butter often has a longer shelf life than natural versions, making it more practical for storage. Cooking oil is rarely thought of as a stored item, yet it's essential. Without oil, cooking options immediately become limited. Oil isn't just for frying. It adds energy to basic foods like rice, noodles, beans, or vegetables. A small amount of oil can turn a simple meal into one that's far more sustaining. In the end, preparedness isn't about stockpiling huge amounts. It's about keeping daily life from breaking down when things don't go as planned. With just a few smart choices, you can avoid panic buying, rushed decisions, or paying higher prices due to lack of preparation. Familiar items, when available at the right time, make life feel more manageable and decisions more clear-headed. That's the real value of shopping smart. Which tip from the video surprised you the most? When you walk into Costco, a lot of people believe that buying in bulk automatically means saving money. But the truth that few people talk about is this. Millions of members leave the store every week with overflowing carts, long receipts, and a vague feeling that they might not have shopped wisely. Costco isn't tricking you, they're just playing a smarter game. Behind those massive shelves and prices that seem unbeatable lies a clever system designed to get you to spend more without you even realizing it. If you've ever wondered, am I really shopping the right way at Costco? What comes next could completely change how you approach this store. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. 1. Don't blindly believe buying more means saving more. Always check the unit price. Costco is built around a familiar idea. The bigger the package, the better the deal. Those huge boxes, giant containers, and nice round numbers on the price tags make your brain automatically think it's a steal. But in reality, bigger sizes often just create the illusion of savings. They don't guarantee real value. The most important thing is actually in the small print below the price tag. The cost per ounce, per pound, or per item. That's where the truth hides. Plenty of products at Costco, when you break them down to unit price, end up costing the same as, or even more than, at a regular grocery store. This is especially true for fresh produce, perishable foods, or anything with a short shelf life. A big bag of veggies might look like a great deal, but if half of it wilts and gets thrown out, you're actually paying way more for the part you eat. A giant bottle of spices seems worth it, but if the flavor fades long before you finish it, you've paid for seasoning that no longer tastes good. Costco isn't selling you the product. They're selling you the comforting feeling of buying in bulk. Smart Costco shoppers don't focus on the total price. They focus on the real cost per use. They ask themselves, how long will this last? Will I finish it all? Can I store it properly? If the answer isn't a clear yes, it's probably not a true deal. Real savings aren't about how full your cart is. They're about whether everything in it actually gets used completely. And once you get in the habit of glancing at the unit price line, you'll start shopping at Costco with your head instead of your emotions. 2. Prices ending in $97, $49, or are a secret language. Costco doesn't blast big sale announcements like other retailers. Instead, they use a quiet system of codes right on the price tags, subtle enough that most shoppers walk right past without noticing. For those who know the rules, these codes are a secret language that tells you whether to buy now or wait. When you see a price ending in .97, it's not random. That's the sign of a clearance item, either overstock or something they're phasing out. The discount is usually significant, and more importantly, it means the product is on its way out. Costco doesn't put up big clearance signs or send emails. They just let the numbers speak to anyone paying attention. Prices ending in $49 or are even more interesting. These are special markdowns decided by individual store managers. That means the deal might only exist at the location you're in, and could be completely different at another warehouse just a few miles away. To the average shopper, it's just a number. To someone who understands Costco, it's a one-time opportunity. Then there's one small but powerful detail, the little asterisk in the corner of the price tag. It doesn't make the price lower right away, but it sends a clear message. This item won't be coming back. Once the current stock is gone, that's it. No restock, no next season, no explanation. Understanding these codes helps you shop proactively instead of reactively. You no longer have to guess whether to wait or buy now. The price tag already tells you. Costco isn't hiding these secrets. They're just not shouting them. And in the world of Costco shopping, the people who listen to those little numbers are always the ones who buy at the perfect time. 3. Don't overlook the butcher counter. Just ask to get it cut your way. A lot of people walk into Costco's meat section, glance at the prepackaged trays wrapped in plastic, quickly grab one, and head out. They figure that in a huge warehouse store like Costco, everything is self-service. But right behind those trays is a service that most members haven't fully taken advantage of: the butcher counter. Costco doesn't just sell meat. They run a real processing area with professionally trained butchers. These aren't just people standing there for show. Many of them have experience from restaurants, large kitchens, or professional food supply chains. And the best part? This service is already built into the price you pay. With one simple question, you can ask them to cut thicker pieces, trim off extra fat, remove bones, tie up a roast, or portion it exactly how your family needs it for cooking. The price per pound stays exactly the same as the prepackaged meat. No extra fees, no weird looks, no complicated process. The real difference shows up later. A steak cut to the perfect thickness for your cooking method will cook more evenly, stay juicier, and turn out noticeably tender. A roast tied neatly will cook beautifully, be easier to handle, and look way more impressive on the dinner table. These little details can take your family meals to a whole new level. Costco doesn't advertise this service aggressively because most shoppers are used to grabbing and going quickly. But smart Costco shoppers know that true value isn't always on the shelf. It's sometimes about having the confidence to ask. When you start using the butcher counter, you're not just buying meat, you're taking control, getting better quality, and making the most of your money. 4. Shop at Costco in the late afternoon to hunt for discounted food. Most shoppers hit Costco out of habit, early morning or midday, when the shelves are fully stocked and everything looks fresh. But few realize that the real deals in the bakery and deli sections often show up later as the store winds down for the day. In the late afternoon, Costco has to deal with a simple reality. Freshly prepared foods, daily baked goods, and hot deli trays can't always carry over to the next day at full price. Instead of big sale signs, they handle it quietly. Small extra stickers get added. A side cart appears in a corner. A back shelf gets restocked without any announcements. Only shoppers who take their time and pay attention spot these changes. A tray of baked goods that seemed sold out might reappear at a much lower price. A family-sized prepared meal could cost less than fast food takeout. This isn't expired or low-quality stuff. It's just same-day items that Costco wants to clear before closing. This timing is especially great for busy families. Instead of rushing to cook after work, you can grab a full dinner for way less than you'd expect. The key is shifting your schedule a bit and staying observant. Costco doesn't put up end-of-day sale signs because they don't want people waiting around for discounts. But for savvy shoppers, late afternoon isn't just the end of the day. It's when the best bargains appear, reserved for those who understand how the store works. 5. The messy seasonal section is a clearance goldmine. In a Costco that's usually neat and organized, the seasonal area always stands out as the exception. Summer items sit next to winter gear. Outdoor furniture mixes with indoor decorations. A lot of people hurry past this section because it feels overwhelming and confusing. But that very chaos is actually a sign that you've stumbled into an area worth stopping for. At Costco, the seasonal section isn't just for displaying in-season stuff. It's also a gathering spot for products that no longer fit the main sales plan. Overstock, test items, slow movers, or things that won't be reordered after peak season often end up here. Once something lands in the seasonal area, it's likely in the final stage of its retail life. What's special is that these items rarely get big clearance signs. They're often placed low on shelves, hidden behind bulkier products, or stacked tightly without any fanfare. Prices get quietly slashed, just enough to move them quickly, but not so obviously that everyone notices. This is why some of the deepest discounts at Costco aren't up front or in prime spots. The people who find them are the ones who slow down, look closely, and aren't afraid to dig through overlooked areas. You can score household goods, kitchen appliances, or even brand new electronics at a fraction of their original price. For Costco, it's about clearing inventory. For you, it's about seizing the opportunity. Don't shy away from the mess. Neat and tidy usually means regular prices. The secret is having the patience to venture where others don't and rummage through the clutter. That's where you'll find the real treasures on your shopping trip. Like the video if this surprised you. 6. End cap displays aren't always the best deals. As you walk through Costco, your eyes are almost guaranteed to be drawn to the displays at the end of each aisle. Products stacked high and neatly, eye-catching packaging, and big clear price signs. It feels natural to think, this must be the hottest deal right now, and that's exactly what Costco wants you to feel. End caps are designed to guide your shopping behavior, not necessarily to offer the lowest prices. These prime spots are the first thing you see when turning into an aisle. Once your brain registers the image and price there, it tends to stop looking further and just grab it. Most shoppers buy right away without walking a few extra steps. But here's the twist. A cheaper version of the exact same product is often deeper in the aisle. Same brand, same purpose, but different size or packaging, with a noticeably lower unit price. Costco places them in less prominent spots, where only attentive shoppers spot them. This strategy isn't deceptive. Prices are clearly marked. The difference is just which items get the spotlight first. When you buy from the end cap, you're paying for convenience and quick decisions. When you venture deeper, you're paying for true value. Smart shopping at Costco isn't about fighting the store. It's about understanding how they lay out the space. Don't let the end cap decide for you. Pause, take those extra steps, and compare carefully. So many of the best value items aren't in the most visible places. They're just a little further in for those willing to look. 7. You don't need a membership to shop. Use a shop card. A lot of people stay away from Costco just because of one thing. They don't want to pay the membership fee. They hear about the great prices and quality products, but hesitate at the idea of paying to shop. The cool part is that Costco has a perfectly legit way in for non-members, and it's called the shop card. A shop card is basically Costco's gift card. All it takes is for a family member or friend with a membership to buy one for you, even a small amount, and you can walk right into the warehouse and shop just like a full member. No need to sign up at the counter. No need to go with someone else. No long explanations. Just show the card and you're in. With a shop card, you can buy almost anything Costco sells. Groceries, bakery items, household goods, bulk essentials, and even gas at Costco stations. This isn't some shady loophole or rule-bending trick. Costco knows about it and allows it as part of their system. Costco's strategy is smart. They let you try the experience first. One trip inside, one tank of cheaper gas, one haul of bakery or meat items, and many people end up signing up for a membership because they see the real value. Shop cards don't hurt Costco's business. They help bring in new customers. For shoppers, it's a perfect low-risk way to test Costco. Use it for special occasions, holiday shopping, or just to check if it fits your spending habits. Once you know about shop cards, the membership barrier isn't holding you back anymore. You can step into Costco on your own terms, without a long-term commitment. 8. Executive membership only pays off if you spend enough. The executive membership is often pitched as the smarter upgrade from the standard card. That 2% cash back sounds super appealing, especially when it's framed as money Costco gives back to you. But what many people overlook is that it's not automatic free money. It's simple math you need to run carefully. To make the 2% reward cover just the upgrade fee, currently an extra $65 on top of the $65 base, you'll need to spend around $350 per year on qualifying purchases. Below that, the reward won't fully offset the higher fee, and executive ends up costing you more than it saves. The issue is that lots of folks sign up because it feels premium, without ever checking their actual yearly spending. Executive is really best for households that shop frequently, spend big, or use Costco for multiple things like groceries, gas, household items, and travel. For those, the end-of-year reward can far exceed the fee, turning it into a solid investment. But if you only go a few times a month, buy smaller items, or shop seasonally, the standard Gold Star card is usually the better, cheaper choice. Costco doesn't push you into executive. They let you decide based on your own habits. The smartest move is to look back at your past year's total spending, not just the sales pitch. If the number is high enough, executive helps maximize your savings. If not, sticking with the basic card keeps you from paying for benefits you won't fully use. Real savings at Costco come from picking the right membership level for how you actually spend, not from going for the highest one. 9. Renew your membership at the right time to maximize your benefits. A lot of Costco members renew their membership out of habit. They see a reminder from staff, get a notification, or just worry about forgetting and losing access, so they renew right away. It seems safe. But this habit quietly causes many people to lose out on benefits they've already paid for. The key thing to understand is that Costco memberships expire by month, not on the exact date you originally signed up. Your card stays active through the very last day of that expiration month. When you renew early, up to 90 days before, the new 12-month period starts from your original expiration month, meaning any overlapping days aren't added on. They're essentially lost. If this happens just once, the lost time might not seem like much. But over years, especially with an executive membership, you're shortening the period you earn that 2% reward. You've paid for a full cycle, but you're not getting the full value. The smart strategy is simple. Wait until close to the end of your expiration month to renew. You won't get locked out. No penalties, no loss of shopping access until the last day. Costco allows this. They just don't push it. It's not a loophole. It's just using what you've paid for properly. Don't get so caught up hunting deals that you overlook managing your membership. Keeping a close eye on your renewal timing is a savvy move to get the most out of your money. You're not just saving cash. You're getting the full value of the service. True savings start with paying attention to these small details that add up big. 10. Costco doesn't sell cheap prices. They sell an experience that makes you buy more. Costco rarely competes with flashy sales banners. What they're masters at is creating a shopping experience that convinces you you're saving big, while your cart gets heavier and heavier. From the moment you walk in, you're pulled into a massive space with oversized carts, long aisles, and layouts that force you to wander deeper and see way more than planned. The smell of rotisserie chickens, fresh baked goods, and free samples, all strategically placed to trigger your senses. When emotions kick in, logic often takes a backseat. You toss in just one more thing because each item feels reasonable on its own. Costco doesn't need you to buy expensive stuff. They need you to buy a lot. Even the store layout supports this. Essentials aren't near the entrance. You have to pass electronics, household items, and seasonal displays first. Along the way, unplanned items sneak into your cart. At checkout, the total is higher than expected, but it's softened by a cheap meal at the food court. The trip ends on a satisfied note, making you eager to come back. Understanding this isn't about avoiding Costco, it's about staying in control. Smart shoppers don't fight the experience. They enjoy it with a plan, clear shopping list, set budget, know what's truly worth it and what's just tempting. Costco isn't tricking you. They're just running an incredibly effective operation. Once you realize they're selling not just products, but the whole shopping vibe, you'll know how to reap the benefits without paying extra for impulse buys. The difference between saving money and overspending at Costco comes down to mindset. It's a brilliant retail machine where real value hides behind understanding the flow, timing, and self-control. Shopping on instinct falls into the spending trap, turning savings opportunities into financial burdens. Smart shopping is the art of being intentional, knowing exactly what you need and why you're buying it, instead of getting swept up in the crowd. Which tip from the video surprised you the most? Costco is a place that helps you save money, but ironically, it is also the place that causes you to waste the most if you aren't paying attention. Just because something is huge and has a low price tag doesn't mean it is worth bringing home. Reality proves that many products here have inconsistent quality or shelf lives that are too short. This forces buyers to throw them away before they can use them up. To protect your family budget from these meaningless expenses, don't miss this list of 11 money pit items. These are things you have likely tossed into your cart without a second thought. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. Wow! 1. Organic English cucumbers. The organic English cucumbers at Costco are a prime example of something that looks cheap but isn't. On the shelf, They are packaged beautifully. The organic label makes you feel safe, and the large quantity makes you think you are getting a bargain. But the reality when you get home is completely different. Cucumbers have a very high water content, which means their shelf life after harvest is extremely short. After just a few days in the fridge, they start to get soft and lose their crunch. The surface gets moist and quickly turns slimy or even moldy. Even if you wrap them in paper towels or use every preservation trick, the chance of finishing the whole pack before they spoil is very low. The problem isn't just about throwing away food. When cucumber quality drops, the flavor changes significantly. They taste bland, the texture becomes mushy, and the fresh feeling disappears. This ruins your salad or sandwich. In the end, you lose money and ruin your meal. A much more practical solution is to buy single cucumbers at a regular supermarket. You can choose the exact amount you need for a few days. The cucumbers will be fresher and crispier, and you will waste less. Most importantly, you control your money. A deal that forces you to throw food in the trash is never a real deal. 2. Canned soda. Most of us assume that Costco is the cheapest place for soda. The reason is simple. When you divide the price of a huge case by the number of cans, the math looks very economical. But watch out, that is a blind spot. This divide and conquer mindset often hides the truth that you aren't getting the best offer. In reality, Costco does not always have the best price for soft drinks. Chains like Walmart, Target, or even drugstores frequently have deep discounts. They often run buy one, get one free, or weekly sales. If you compare carefully, the cost per can during these sales is often lower than the bulk price at Costco. The difference is that those sales aren't packaged in bulk, so they don't give that instant feeling of saving money. Besides the price, buying in bulk brings hidden costs. Huge cases of soda take up a lot of space in the kitchen or garage. For families without a pantry or extra fridge, storing this much soda is a long-term inconvenience. Furthermore, if stored too long, soda can lose its carbonation and freshness. Flexibility is also a weakness. Buying at Costco means you are stuck with one flavor for a long time. Meanwhile, buying singles or smaller packs at the supermarket allows you to choose multiple flavors. You can enjoy seasonal varieties and only buy what you need. True savings isn't about bringing home a giant box of soda. It is about paying the right price, drinking it when it's fresh, and not turning your home into a warehouse. 3. Kirkland Signature Bagels. Kirkland Signature Bagels show the downside of buying food under forced bulk conditions. In theory, the price per bagel is quite attractive. But the issue isn't the price. It is the ability to finish them while the quality is still good. These bagels have almost no preservatives, so their life cycle is very short. After just a few days at room temperature, the bagels start to dry out. They lose their chewiness and become hard to eat. If you put them in the fridge, this process happens even faster. Unless you slice, wrap, and freeze them immediately, many people find the bagels moldy or rock hard before they can finish them. The key point is that Costco does not let you choose the quantity. You are forced to buy a dozen at a time, regardless of your actual needs. For small households, this turns eating bagels into a race against time instead of an enjoyable meal. When food becomes a pressure to consume, it is no longer smart shopping. The quality of prepackaged bagels is also hard to compare with fresh daily bagels from a local bakery. Fresh bagels have a crispy crust, soft interior, and distinct flavor. They are delicious even when eaten plain. Meanwhile, bagels bought in large packs degrade quickly, lowering the eating experience. Instead of hoarding quantity, prioritize quality by buying individually at places that bake fresh every morning. You accept paying a small extra amount, but in return, you get absolute satisfaction when tasting a bagel in its perfect state. Ultimately, saving money doesn't mean buying cheap only to waste it. Anything that gets thrown away makes the initial cheap price become pointlessly expensive. 4. Premium steak. Premium steak at Costco often creates a sense of absolute trust for buyers. The meat looks beautiful and is pre-cut. The prime or choice labels are clear. The price looks reasonable compared to a restaurant. That polished look makes many people assume this is the best choice. Consequently, they skip the most important step in smart shopping, comparing price and real value. Do not assume Costco is always the cheapest for steak. In reality, many rival supermarkets and local butcher shops frequently have deep discounts on high-end beef. This is especially true during holidays or weekends. If you take the time to compare, you can buy equivalent cuts or even fresher ones for a lower cost. But these deals are often overshadowed by Costco's bulk packaging. Few people notice that steak at Costco is often prepackaged in large trays. You cannot request a specific thickness. You also cannot choose the exact piece of meat that fits your cooking method. Meanwhile, a local butcher can give advice. They can cut to your request and even suggest the type of meat that fits your budget and dish. This flexibility brings value that the number on the price tag cannot fully show. With steak, buying smart is more important than buying wholesale. Do not let Costco's psychological trap of cheap prices make you spend without control. The biggest advantage of the person holding the wallet is the ability to evaluate reality. Ignore the numbers regarding weight or the brand halo. Focus on the ratio between cost and the quality you actually receive. 5. Kirkland and Costco clothing. Fashion at Costco often lulls buyers with a false sense of safety. The dirt cheap prices and basic designs make them look practical and easy to choose. However, that rugged look often hides fatal weaknesses regarding material and durability. The initial satisfaction fades quickly, leaving behind a product that degrades over time. Many people only realize this after a few washes. Shirts start to shrink and lose their shape. Pants get loose in stress areas. Colors fade quickly, fabric pills, and seams become weak. These signs do not appear at the checkout counter. They reveal themselves silently when returning the item is no longer reasonable. You get what you pay for is most evident in the fabric quality. Cutting corners on quality to lower the price turns Kirkland clothing into fast fashion. It is only suitable for temporary use. When a shirt quickly stretches out or frays after a few months, the cheap initial price becomes meaningless. You are paying installments for waste instead of investing once for durability. Smart shoppers often choose a different direction. Instead of buying clothes at a bulk food store, they hunt for brand name items during sales at outlets, malls, or chains like Macy's or Target. For the same amount of money, they get better materials, more stable fits, and longer usage time. Clothing is a layer attached to us every day. A product that degrades quickly not only lowers your living experience, but also drains your budget. Don't let low prices blind you. The cost of buying over and over again will turn that initial savings into an expensive and tiring mistake. Like the video if this surprised you. 6. Large bottles of Kikkoman soy sauce. The large bottle of Kikkoman soy sauce at Costco is often seen as a no-brainer purchase. It is a reputable brand, has a huge volume, and the price per milliliter looks very attractive. But the problem with this product lies not in the brand. It lies in the time you need to use up such a large bottle. Technically, soy sauce does not spoil easily like milk or vegetables. However, that does not mean its quality remains the same over time. Immediately after opening the cap, soy sauce starts to be exposed continuously to air, light, and humidity. This process causes the rich umami flavor, which is Kikkoman's strength, to gradually decline. The aroma gets weaker. The salty taste becomes flat and lacks depth. For families that do not cook Asian dishes frequently, a large bottle can take many months or even a year to finish. By that time, the remaining soy sauce only acts as a salty liquid. It no longer brings true flavor value. You might have saved a few dollars at the time of purchase, but you traded it for the quality of every meal for a long time. A more reasonable approach is to buy a medium-sized bottle of soy sauce. Use it up while the flavor is still fresh and full. When needed, buy a new bottle. The cost might be slightly higher per milliliter, but the cooking and eating experience is much better. With condiments, freshness is always more important than quantity. A large, cheap bottle with faded flavor is ultimately not a saving choice. It is an unnecessary compromise. 7. 2-gallon whole milk. Do not let the attractive listed price fool you. Bringing home this giant pair of milk jugs is only reasonable in theory. In practice, especially for small households, it often leads to a familiar scenario. The milk goes sour or expires before you can drink it all. At that point, the initial convenience becomes a burden. Pouring the leftover milk down the drain means you are directly throwing your money away. Milk is a product with a clear expiration date and spoils quickly after opening. When you buy 2 gallons at once, it means you must consume a large amount in a short time. Just a change in daily routine, a few days of forgetting to use it, or eating out more often can lead to waste. One of the 2 jugs can easily expire, turn sour, or develop a bad smell. When that happens, all the money saved initially disappears instantly. Many people think they can freeze milk to extend its shelf life. In theory, this is true. But in reality, milk often separates after thawing. The texture becomes grainy and much less appealing. For drinking directly or skinning coffee and cereal, this change is very noticeable. The result is that you still might throw away the milk because it is no longer tasty. A more practical way to shop is to choose milk based on actual consumption needs. Buy 1 gallon at a time at a supermarket near your home. It is easier to control the amount used and ensures the milk is always at its freshest state. True savings do not lie in bringing home as much milk as possible. It lies in using every drop at the right time without pouring it down the sink. 8. Bulk fresh garlic. Fresh garlic sold in large bags at Costco often creates a feeling of great value. It is a full bag for a low price. It looks like you can use it freely for weeks. But garlic is an ingredient whose quality drops very fast, and this is why buying in bulk is a common mistake. After harvest, garlic starts losing freshness. When stored for too long, the cloves sprout, dry out, or develop mold spots. This happens especially in the unstable humidity of a kitchen pantry or fridge. The longer it sits, the weaker the signature aroma becomes. The taste turns bland. By the time you get to the last bulbs in the bag, the garlic may only provide a faint smell or even ruin the balance of your dish. The most dangerous trap is the sunk cost mindset. When the garlic starts sprouting or shriveling, you put yourself in a tough spot. You either force yourself to use bad ingredients, or you grit your teeth and throw them in the trash. No matter which path you choose, your initial investment has failed. Buy garlic based on real needs instead of buying in bulk. Handpicking firm, dry bulbs at the market ensures the best quality for your family meals. The golden rule is, it is better to buy less and use it all than to buy cheap and throw money in the trash in the form of rotten food. 9. Kirkland Signature Cream Cheese. With a generous size and extremely low cost, Kirkland cream cheese easily catches the eye of homebakers. However, this is a classic example of the shopping paradox. Savings on paper do not always translate to a worthy experience. Sometimes, the price you pay for buying cheap is the inconvenience of using it. Many users notice the difference immediately upon opening the box. The texture of Kirkland cream cheese is not as smooth or silky as familiar brands. Instead of being soft and spreadable, it tends to be stiff, slightly crumbly, and grainy. When spread on toast or a bagel, the cheese doesn't glide evenly. It breaks apart, making the eating experience less appealing. Flavor is also a disappointment. Good cream cheese needs a balance of fat, milky taste, and a natural tang. With Kirkland, many people feel the taste is quite flat and lacks depth. This difference becomes even clearer when used in recipes like cheesecake or frosting. The final product can lack smoothness and the richness that is the soul of a dessert. The money saved buying this product is usually not significant. Meanwhile, the eating experience is clearly affected. It can even ruin an entire batch of cakes. For foundation ingredients like cream cheese, choosing a stable, high-quality brand brings long-term value. Saving a few pennies but sacrificing flavor is a decision smart shoppers usually avoid. 10. Windshield wipers. Windshield wipers at Costco are a quick, cheap, grab-and-go item. On the surface, they seem to meet basic needs. The low price makes many believe they have saved a little money, but with accessories directly related to safety, this is where cheap can cost you dearly. The most common complaint is durability. Many wiper sets start to degrade after a very short time. The rubber hardens quickly. The blade no longer hugs the glass, leading to water streaks, squeaking noises, or missed spots. These problems don't appear immediately. They reveal themselves exactly when you need them most, during heavy rain or bad weather. The consequence isn't just annoyance. Limited visibility in rainy conditions is a real safety risk. When the windshield is blurry, driver reflexes are affected. At that point, the initial savings become completely meaningless. No one wants to trade safety just to save a few dollars on an accessory. Instead of constantly replacing cheap wipers, invest in a premium set. The price difference will be rewarded with performance. They wipe clean, leave no streaks, and endure through many seasons. In the equation of traffic safety, quality must always come first. Don't let thriftiness turn into risk. A useless wiper blade when you need it most is the most dangerous kind of waste. 11. The everything is a deal mindset. The most dangerous product on this list is not actually on the shelf. It is the mindset that assumes anything sold at Costco is automatically cheap and worth buying. This belief causes many people to skip the most critical step of smart shopping, considering actual needs and long-term value. Costco is designed to create a feeling of savings. Wide aisles, huge shelves, giant packaging, and bulk displays all hit the psychology of buy more, save more. When accustomed to this, buyers easily assume they don't need to check prices or calculate. They think Costco has done that work for them. But reality shows that many products are only cheap on the price tag. The real cost lies in the waste, the reduced quality, or the inconvenience at home. An item is only a real deal when you use it all, use it at the right time, and use it in its best condition. If food spoils, if spices lose flavor, or if clothes degrade fast, the initial savings are just an illusion. You aren't buying cheap, you are just paying in a different way. Alert shoppers don't ask, "Is this cheap?" They ask, "Does this fit my needs?" Costco is still a wonderful place to shop if you understand what you need, how much you use, and how long it lasts. When you escape the buy anything mindset, you truly master your wallet. You turn Costco into a savings tool, rather than a consumer trap disguised very cleverly. Costco is not a bad place to shop, but it is only beneficial when you understand clearly what you are buying and why. A low price on the shelf does not mean real value when you bring it home. Products that spoil quickly or force you to throw them away are silently taking more money than you think. Smart shopping isn't about buying a lot. It is about buying right. When you know how to stop, compare, and weigh your real needs, Costco becomes an effective tool. But if you shop by habit and feeling, those seemingly attractive deals will be the very things thinning your wallet day by day. Which tip from the video surprised you the most? Have you noticed this? Your grocery bill at the end of the year isn't rising because you're buying more. It's rising because the system is quietly pulling money out of your wallet day after day. Items that were once considered essentials are steadily creeping up in price, disappearing from shelves, or being replaced with lower quality versions without any warning to shoppers. This video helps you see clearly which foods are truly essential, good for your health, and consistently well-reviewed, so you can plan ahead, buy earlier, and avoid budget pressure as prices continue to climb. You'd be awesome if you liked this video.
Wow!
1. Olive oil. Olive oil is something many households use every day without much thought, until the price starts making people hesitate right in front of the shelf. In the past, Olive oil was simply used for light sautéing, salad dressing, or dipping bread. But over the past few years, it has slowly shifted from a go-to pantry item to an expense people actually have to think about. The reason isn't just the price. It's the role olive oil plays in modern eating habits. As more people cut back on animal fats and fried foods, olive oil has become the default choice because it's heart-healthy, easy to use, and works with a wide range of dishes. That popularity has steadily pushed demand higher, while supply has become increasingly unstable due to extreme weather and rising production costs. What matters is that olive oil isn't something that's easy to replace. You can switch between regular cooking oils, but olive oil has a distinct flavor and function of its own. Many dishes lose their familiar balance without it. One practical advantage of olive oil is that you can buy it ahead of time and use it gradually. When stored in a cool place, away from light, and properly sealed, olive oil maintains good quality for a long time. This gives consumers more control, buying when prices are still reasonable and using it at a normal pace, instead of being forced to purchase when prices have already been pushed up. Toward the end of the year, when cooking becomes more frequent, olive oil turns into a foundational ingredient you can't really do without. Keeping a few bottles on hand isn't hoarding, it's simply making sure your cooking isn't disrupted. When olive oil is always available in the kitchen, you don't have to adjust meals based on price swings or supply changes, and your household budget is easier to manage during a season filled with extra expenses. 2. Fresh milk. Fresh milk is something many families buy out of habit, rarely thinking twice, until the price starts rising steadily, with no sign of coming back down. A carton of milk in the fridge may seem small, but it's tied to many everyday routines: children's breakfasts, morning coffee, cooking, baking, or simply a glass of milk before bed. What makes fresh milk especially sensitive is how hard it is to replace in the short term. You can cut back on sweets or delay buying snacks, but with milk, especially in households with children or older adults, reducing consumption often leads to clear inconvenience. That's why, when milk prices inch up, consumers usually absorb the cost rather than stop buying it altogether. In reality, milk prices don't spike overnight. They rise gradually due to multiple factors: animal feed costs, transportation, labor, and distribution. Each factor may increase only slightly, but together they turn milk into a heavier and heavier line item in the household budget. By the time people notice, their monthly grocery bill already looks very different. The key point is that fresh milk doesn't always cost the same. There are periods when prices are stable and supply is plentiful, and times, especially toward the end of the year, when availability tightens as demand rises. Shoppers who pay attention often buy milk according to these cycles, rather than scrambling to purchase it at the last minute when supplies are low. 3. Coffee. A morning cup of coffee isn't just about staying alert. It's a familiar way to start the day. When the cost of that habit goes up, the sense of loss isn't really about money, but about the disruption to a daily routine. What's notable is that coffee doesn't rise in price in a loud or sudden way. It creeps up gradually in small increments. A few extra cents per bag today, a little more next month. By the time you look back, your total monthly spending on coffee has changed noticeably, even though you're drinking the same amount. For people who drink coffee every day, this impact is more obvious than with almost any other consumer item. Unlike many foods, coffee is also highly affected by weather, harvest conditions, and transportation. A poor crop or higher logistics costs can immediately show up in prices. Consumers don't have many real substitutes because tea or energy drinks can't replace the familiar comfort of a properly brewed cup of coffee. One advantage that many people overlook is how well coffee can be stored if handled correctly. Whole beans or ground coffee kept sealed in a cool and dry place can maintain quality for a long time. This makes buying ahead, purchasing a bit extra, more practical than buying small amounts repeatedly during periods of price volatility. 4. Maple syrup. Maple syrup is something many people only notice when breakfast feels like something is missing, rather than an item they plan for in advance. In reality, it's one of the foods most vulnerable to price swings, because its supply is highly concentrated and difficult to scale quickly. When changes happen, maple syrup prices often jump instead of rising gradually, leaving shoppers unprepared. Unlike many seasonings or sweeteners, maple syrup doesn't have a true equivalent in flavor or function. You can substitute honey or artificial syrup, but the taste and overall quality of the dish will be noticeably different. For families who regularly use maple syrup for pancakes, waffles, baking, or drinks, switching temporarily is usually just a last resort. What makes maple syrup especially worth considering is its exceptional shelf life. When stored properly, a bottle of pure maple syrup can last for years without spoiling or degrading. That's rare for food, and it's why experienced consumers often buy it early when prices are stable, rather than waiting until they urgently need it and have to pay more. Another overlooked factor is that maple syrup isn't an impulse item. It's tied to routine. Once you're used to its flavor, not having it makes breakfast feel incomplete. That's why when prices rise sharply, people don't easily give it up. Instead, they're forced to cut back elsewhere. 5. Frozen vegetables. Frozen vegetables are often seen as a backup option, used only when there's no time to shop or when fresh produce doesn't look appealing. In reality, they're a food category that's gaining more respect, especially among families who want to eat healthier while keeping costs and time under control. The biggest strength of frozen vegetables is harvest timing. Vegetables are typically picked at peak freshness, then flash frozen to preserve color, texture, and most of their nutritional value. In many cases, frozen vegetables are actually more consistent than fresh produce that has been sitting on store shelves for days. This helps daily meals rely less on whether the vegetables at the market look good today. From a budget standpoint, frozen vegetables significantly reduce waste. You take only what you need and return the rest to the freezer, instead of rushing to cook everything before it spoils. For busy households or those cooking in smaller portions, this is a clear advantage over buying large bundles of fresh vegetables and throwing half of them away. Another benefit is versatility. Frozen vegetables work easily in stir-fries, steaming, soups, noodles, fried rice, or stews. They shorten prep time without making meals feel rushed or careless. At the end of the year, when everyone is busy, having vegetables ready in the freezer makes home cooking much easier. Like the video if this surprised you. 6. Vanilla extract. In many family kitchens, there's a scent that instantly creates a feeling of warmth. The smell of freshly baked goods, warm milk, and familiar sweets shared during gatherings. Few people ever name it, but when it's missing, everything suddenly feels flat. That scent comes from vanilla extract. Vanilla isn't an ingredient you use often, and it's not something you reach for every day. But when you do need it, it's almost indispensable. Just a few drops can immediately add depth and balance to a dish. And because it's used sparingly and slowly, many people don't notice how much the price of vanilla has changed over the past few years. What sets vanilla extract apart from most other foods is that it doesn't come with pressure to buy and use right away. On the contrary, pure vanilla becomes more stable over time, and its flavor can even mellow and blend more smoothly. That makes it one of the few ingredients where buying early carries no real risk, only greater control. Vanilla also isn't something that can be easily replaced with a cheaper version. Artificial flavorings may create a quick sweetness, but they lack depth and often make dishes taste fake. For families who bake, make desserts, or simply keep a few familiar recipes for the end of the year, pure vanilla plays a very specific and irreplaceable role. 7. Nuts. Nuts are often grouped into the snack category, but when you look closer, they're actually one of the most foundational foods for many households when spending becomes more sensitive. A small handful may not fill you up right away, but it provides steady energy, healthy fats, and protein that few convenience foods can match. What makes nuts increasingly valued is their flexibility. They can be eaten on their own, added to salads, mixed into oatmeal, used in baking, or relied on as a quick supplement when main meals are scaled back. As prices for meat, fish, and dairy continue to fluctuate, nuts become a buffer option, helping meals stay nutritious without driving costs up too much. Another advantage is their long shelf life and easy portion control. Nuts don't require refrigeration, don't spoil quickly, and can be pre-portioned for gradual use. For busy families or those with flexible eating habits, this significantly reduces waste compared to many fresh foods. Nutritionally, each type of nut plays a different role. Almonds are rich in vitamin E, walnuts provide omega-3s, cashews supply essential minerals, and peanuts are familiar and widely accessible. When combined, nuts stop being a side item and become a steady source of nutrition in daily life. 8. Canned tuna. Canned tuna is a staple many families keep in their pantry because it's convenient and easy to plan around. It doesn't require refrigeration, isn't tied to shopping schedules, and is ready to use as soon as you open the